la 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 la. Hey, what's up guys, this is Arvind, your favorite automobile and tech reviewer. Oh, we have missed something. The iconic hey, what's up guys, that will be done by the Mac itself now. Let's see the unboxing of this iMac first and then continue. This iMac comes in a huge box that is really huge. Let's pull the pull tab out and slowly open the box. There is a box that contains keyboard, mouse and a USB 8 to lightning cable to charge the keyboard and mouse, and also a cleaning cloth with an cute Apple logo on it. You can see right there. Let's take the iMac from the thermocol packing. There is also a power cord hidden behind the iMac. Let's take it out of this thermocol packing. Oh, it's so heavy. It's really heavy in the hand. It's hard. Okay, fine. And remove the wrappings on it. This iMac has two protective wrappings all around it. Come on. Yeah, finally out. This is the last wrapping around the iMac, and yes, we pulled it off. Here we have the 27-inch iMac 5K Retina 2020 model unboxed with 10th Gen 8-core i7 processor and Radeon Pro 5500 XT 8GB graphics card version. This is the top of the line offering from Apple that is non-customized. If you are not aware of what the iMac is, it is the all-in-one PC offering from Apple. Starting off with the design, this iMac carries the same beautiful traditional design from 2012. Apple never changed the design of the iMac from then until now on the 24-inch M1 iMac that recently launched, but it is still yet to release the updated version of this high-end iMac, making this the last iMac with the new Intel chip. Starting from the sides, that's my favorite spot on this iMac. The curved body with a meticulously designed stand is a treat for eyes and make for a seamless design. Coming to the front, the eyesore for many is the black bezel. People scream for this huge bezel, but I don't usually care because the bezel just goes off when you're immersed by this beautiful Retina display that I will touch on later. Below that there is an Apple logo, making it one of the unique products from Apple that has two Apple logos, one on the front and on the rear. Beneath the aluminum housing, there is a number of sections serving as speakers for this iMac, and to my surprise, they sound incredible. You need to be really careful on the sides because the sharp edges might hurt you. Coming to the back, let me turn this in. There is a huge Apple logo which acts as an antenna for sending and receiving Bluetooth and Wi-Fi signals. If you take a look closer, there is a small microphone here for noise cancellation. Under the logo, there is a fan vent and a RAM door hidden by this stand. Also, this is one of the last iMac that comes with the RAM doors so that you can upgrade your RAM yourself for less money compared to what you configure on Apple Store. That's for the design. Before we move on to further things, it would be nice if you subscribe to my channel and give a like and share this video. Okay, let's get into the display. The display of this iMac is the main highlight. Apple even markets it with their display size and the resolution. This iMac has a 27-inch diagonal 5K Retina display that supports True Tone technology and P3 white color gamut. This is a gorgeous panel that draws you in. The colors on this are vibrant, rich, and it goes up to 500 nits of brightness. I swear, I bought this iMac for productivity purposes, but every time I switch on this Mac, I'm really stunned by this display's color and contrast that makes me eventually open YouTube and listen to my favorite songs for hours. This iMac also comes with a nano-texture glass option that was first seen in Apple's high-end Pro Display XDR. What the nano-texture technology eventually does is, it reduces the glare of this iMac. If your iMac is exposed to direct sunlight or even a bright studio light, it reduces the glare so you can enjoy the highest picture quality possible. Moving on to what's inside this iMac. This iMac is a Powerhorse that can be configured up to 10th core i9 processor that gives you all the power you need for running multiple pro apps, layering tons of tracks and effects, or compiling and testing code. Let's talk about graphics. That was iMac is meant to be strong at. The graphics on this iMac is next level. The graphics on this 27-inch iMac makes everything a sight to behold. With AMD Radeon Pro 5000 series graphics and up to 16 GB of DDR6 memory, it can fly through graphics-intensive workflows like 3D rendering or developing lifelike game environments. This 27-inch iMac can also be configured up to a whopping 8TB SSD with up to 3.4 GB read and write speed. As I said, this is the top of the line offering from Apple. Our model is configured with a 3.8 GHz 8-core 10th generation Intel i7 processor, turbo boost up to 5 GHz, 8 GB of DDR4 memory that are configurable up to 128 GB. I have personally upgraded it to 32 GB by throwing that 8 GB outside 512 GB of SSD. If you ask me, it's enough for most tasks. Just have an external SSD or HDD so you can store all your things on the external hard drives. Radeon Pro 5500 XT with 8 GB of DDR6 memory, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports and a Retina 5K display that supports P3 white color gamut and True Tone technology, as I previously said. You want the resolution of this display? It is 5120 x 2880. I upgraded the RAM from 8GB to 32GB myself, thereby increasing the performance at a very low cost. Speaking of the real performance, this iMac breezes out on 4K timeline on Final Cut Pro. It just runs like icing on the cake. No stutters, no lags, or no hiccups whatsoever. My main need is video editing and this thing excels at that. Also, the render and export times are much faster, mostly half the time of the total length of any 4K video given. I cannot comment on the performance of Logic Pro or coding on this because I'm not into it. But I can be sure whatever you throw on it, it's just gonna fly through it. Yes, the fans do kick in and you can hear it, but it's not as loud as the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And here are the Geekbench 5 and Cinebench R20 results. So the hardware is great. What about the software? It's brilliant. The macOS Big Sur running on this machine is tremendous, that makes opening apps, surfing through the web, playing games fast and snappy. Actually, there are a lot of security and modern features embedded in macOS Big Sur, like the redesigned control system, redesigned dock, or enhanced safety features and performance improvements in Safari, etc. I haven't played any games on this Mac. Also, Macs are not meant for playing games and it's totally for productivity purposes. But Apple slowly vanishing that statement by introducing super high quality Apple Arcade games. You can play arcade games on this just like any other Apple devices. Or you can install Windows via Bootcamp to enjoy your favorite AAA titles. Also, this is the last iMac to support Bootcamp. The Apple Silicon version of iMac, that is the M1 iMac 24-inch, that doesn't support Bootcamp natively. But you can install Parallels to enjoy Windows on your M1 Macs. But you can install Parallels on them to enjoy Windows on your Mac. But why do you want to do that? Speaking of the port, this iMac is the best among all the Macs and it has the most value for money because it has 3.5mm headphone jack, SDXC card slot that is compatible with UHS 2, 4 USB-A ports that are USB 3.0 compatible, and 2 Thunderbolt ports, and 2 Thunderbolt 3 USB Type-C ports that acts as a display port where you can hook up a Pro Display XDR 6K monitor with this, or you can hook up a 2 4K monitors with this iMac. This also comes with a gigabit Ethernet, but you can also configure it to a 10 GB Ethernet. The main and the most welcomed upgrade on this iMac is this 1080p webcam that paves way for good quality video calls and web conferencing. You also have a studio quality 3 mic array for better sounding voice on your Zoom calls. This iMac 27-inch 2020 finally ditched the Fusion drive and went all on SSDs. So that's where the T2 chip comes in. The T2 chip is basically an A10 processor that is found on iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. The Apple T2 is a security chip that features a secure enclave that provides the foundation of secure boot and encrypted storage capabilities. The T2 also enables powerful features like the 1080p FaceTime HD camera and face detection and enhanced bass response for the speakers, and eventually paves way for the Hey Siri command. And it also helps in video editing by transcoding HEVC files twice as fast as the previous generation of iMacs. This iMac has a Bluetooth 5.0, but it does not support Wi-Fi 6 if that's a deal breaker to you, but I don't actually care. The speakers are loud and sounds incredible with deep bass response and clear sound signature. The clarity on this is phenomenal. You need to hear it in person and you will be blown away by the performance. This iMac comes with a Magic Keyboard 2 and Magic Mouse 2. These both work wirelessly and charge via Lightning. You can also configure the keyboard with separate numeric pad at additional cost, And you can also configure the Magic Mouse 2 or trackpad, or you can buy both of them, the Magic Mouse 2 and trackpad. So if you ask me about the battery life of the keyboard and mouse, I would say it will last for months to come. I bought this iMac on November 2020. I can surely say I just charged them for 3 times. Speaking of variants, there are 3. The first one is 3.1 GHz 6-core 10th generation Intel i5 processor with 8GB of memory, 256GB of SSD with 8GB of RAM that is configurable up to 128GB and 256GB of SSD. This model also comes with the Radeon Pro 5300 with 4GB of DDR6 memory. And the second model is slightly overclocked from the first model. It runs at 3.3 GHz 6-core 10th generation Intel i5 processor, again with the same 8GB of RAM that is configured up to 128GB, but this model comes at 512GB of SSD. The graphics remains the same across these two models. And the third one is what we have now. This is the top end offering from Apple, and the specs I have already said in the beginning of the video for this entire period. Also, for the first time in India, the iMac 2020 has been launched with the configurable options, thanks to the Apple online store. Before that, it was like you need to choose from the 3 versions that Apple launched in India. If you know, in 2019, the iMac 27-inch came with a slower i5 processor and a 2TB Fusion drive that is slow compared to this SSD. In this 2020 iMac, you need to stuck with that option. There is no way to configure back then in India. Also, if you are wondering about the software updates, Apple said they will support them for years to come. I guess if years to come means they will support it for around 5 to 7 years. That's for sure. So should you buy this iMac in 2021 or wait for the Apple Silicon version? I would probably say wait. I mean, if your project work solely depends on this machine, I mean if your existing Mac doesn't work great, and if your project work demands a higher end beefy machine like this, you can definitely go and pull the trigger on this new iMac 27-inch. Or if you have a good machine that you can put up with for several months, I would probably say wait for the new Apple Silicon version of this iMac, because the new version might have a faster CPU, bigger 6K display and a new design. Or if you cannot wait any longer, then go for the newer 24-inch colorful M1 iMacs that are so great and powerful. Or if you are a crazy guy like me who loves this design of this timeless machine, go and pull the trigger on this iMac, because it is the last Intel iMac with this timeless design to be sold by Apple, and it's gonna be discontinued when the newer Apple Silicon version of this iMac gets released. So if you have made to this far in this video, like and sharing this video will be much appreciated, and subscribe to my channel and comment if you have any questions or suggestions, and come hang out with me on Instagram and Twitter for behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching. Let's create the spark.